Hello and welcome back. Here's something I want to address today. One of Steve Gregg's 18, quote, things that cannot credibly be said to have happened in AD 70 is, there came no end of the institution of marriage. This is from chapter 1 of his book, Why Not Full Preterism? So let's begin by looking at the account of the Sadducees testing Jesus in Luke 20, 27-33. Then some of the Sadducees who deny that there is a resurrection came to him and asked him, saying, Teacher, Moses wrote to us that if a man's brother dies having a wife, and he dies without children, his brother should take his wife and raise up offspring for his brother. Now there were 7 brothers, and the first took a wife and died without children. And the second took her as wife, and he died childless. Then the third took her, and in like manner the 7 also, and they left no children and died. Last of all, the woman died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife does she become? For all 7 had her as wife. Now note verse 33 where the Sadducees begin their question, quote, in the resurrection. Since in Daniel 12 we see a prophecy of the resurrection occurring, quote, when the power of the holy people is shattered, I conclude the resurrection the Sadducees referred to was the same prophesied in Daniel. Now, the idea of a general resurrection is a cornerstone of biblical prophecy. However, understanding its nature and timing requires a careful covenantal interpretation of Scripture, especially when considering the time statements provided by Jesus and the apostles. The resurrection is not a future physical event, but a covenantal rising of the old covenant righteous and unrighteous from Sheol Hades, fulfilled at the close of the old covenant age in AD 70. The Sadducees' trick question in Luke 20, 27-33 regarding marriage in the resurrection provides a crucial starting point. While they denied the resurrection, their very framing of the question indicates a prevalent expectation among the Jews of a coming resurrection. And this expectation was deeply rooted in Old Testament prophecy, notably Daniel 12:2, quote, And many of those who sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, some to shame and everlasting contempt. Daniel 12:7 explicitly ties this resurrection to a specific historical marker, quote, when the power of the holy people is shattered. This phrase undoubtedly referring to the destruction of the temple and the end of the Jewish nation in the Old Covenant Mosaic age in AD 70 suggests a covenantal context for the resurrection out of the dead, Sheol Hades. Now let's consider Jesus' response to the Sadducees, quote, But those who are counted worthy to attain that age and the resurrection from the dead neither marry nor are given in marriage, nor can they die any more, for they are equal to the angels and are sons of God, being sons of the resurrection. Now, assuming the 7 brothers and their wife are worthy to attain that age and the resurrection from the dead, Jesus states they neither marry nor are given in marriage. Why? Because they are equal to the angels and are sons of God, being sons of the resurrection. Angels and sons of God are residents of heaven, so they don't marry in heaven. What effect does that have on the earthly institution of marriage for the living in the new covenant age? Why does the institution of marriage need to end for those alive on earth? We are examining a scripture text where it specifically says 7 brothers and their wife died. So I don't know what else to say. Comment, please, especially if you think differently. God bless. I'm out.